been out here taking advantage of the lovely weather, just playing around with this Hyper7. I've managed to get it now, runs really well. That's 30% nitro in there now, not 25s, 30%, and by 30% I mean 30% Optimix. Good stuff, love this stuff. And you know, this is what it is. A lot of people get confused when you say 30%. They're like, is it 30% nitro, 30% oil, whatever the hell that stuff is what I'm using. Got this out of my stash of nitros. It expired in 2021, but nobody cares about that. If you care about that kind of stuff, then, well, look away now. Honestly, they put expiry dates on food, and they don't even need to. They put it on fuel, and you don't even need to. I mean, you can tell if it's expired, if it expired, because it just won't work anymore. Simple as that. Same with food. You can tell if it's past its date because it'll be mouldy. Give it a little bit of a clean up. Got the old air. I'm not going to give it a proper going over. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a clean, make it better than it is. Because at the moment it's a little bit dirty around the edges, around all the engine and everything, so let's give it a bit of a blast. The sun's extremely bright today. Oh yeah, let's set up got to set up the throttle properly and the brakes. So I'll go and get the Allen driver, take that off so we can see in there. At the moment we're not quite getting full throttle and the brakes are on even now. So go and get an Allen driver. So I've got an Allen driver, so we can see that when I do throttle, the servo moves before it hits that little, this is called a collar, before it hits that, it moves quite a way, which will be why we don't get our full throttle. If you can't see that, that's not all the way open. Maybe you can see it or not. So let's put that back there like that, and all we got to do, undo the little grub screw there, move that collar to the end there, do it back up nice and tight, and now we definitely got full throttle. Now we just got to sort out the brakes. So for some reason the brakes are always on, so they need to be that way. So we should be able to undo that little collar, move that to about there somewhere. We've just got to guess for now. We can fine tune it in a minute. Undo that collar, move it to about there somewhere. Now we see the brakes are not on. Right, so at least now the servo moves and we can go to breakage. I'm just moving the end stop, but don't seem to be doing a lot. Oh, now it is, I think. Yeah, now it is. Right, okay. So we were nowhere near it. putting that all the way up to 100, as far as it will go. That end stop. Now the brakes are on. But that front one's not very strong though, so we need to adjust that. We need to adjust that collar. So the front one comes on as well. There we go. Now the front brakes are on, but the back ones aren't as strong, so we can adjust this collar here like that. Put that a little bit closer. Now we're in neutral. The brakes ain't on. Now the brakes are on and they're strong. Front brakes, yep. Back brakes, not quite so much. That's not moving that back one at all, is it? So we've got two options. Can move that collar there. There we go. Now we've got back brakes. I've just moved this collar a little bit closer. Full throttle now. Neutral. And we've got brakes. We can always adjust those later on. I think this servo's a little bit weak. I don't really think it's doing everything that it can be doing. I think it can definitely be doing a bit more than that. It needs to be a little bit stronger really, but it is doing its. It is doing its thing. But at least now we get full throttle. And when we do, at the moment we're on tick over. Okay, everything's in neutral. Brakes are not on. Then if we go full throttle, we get full throttle. Let go, goes back to tick over. And we push brakes. It don't really do a lot, but the brakes aren't on when it's in neutral and they're on when it's. That servo's a little bit weak. It's working fine, but it's a bit weak. But that's that done. A little pipe back on for the air filter. That's it. We'll put a couple of cable ties around there really, hold that in place. I didn't need to take the O-rings out in the end. That was running perfectly fine like that on those rubber seals, those O-rings that are inside that OS carb already. I felt this one, I didn't think it was much different, and when I thought about it, the other one's not really that bad anyway. Some people said in some comments about trying to glue this together. I don't really think it's worth trying to glue it together, so I'm not going to bother. But I am going to try and buy, if I can buy a rebuild kit for this one, happy days. If not, I might try and get like a second-hand carburetor and either put the whole carburetor on that engine or rebuild this one with the parts from that second-hand one, depending on the condition of it. If that other one is in better condition than this one, then I'll put that one on. If this one turns out to be better after I've cleaned it, then I'll put this one on. But I don't think there's a lot wrong with this one, so I think this one probably will end up going back on, because when I sell that Hyper7, I'm definitely not going to sell it with that OS carb, because that is my carb and I'm keeping that carb. It's on there temporarily, just so I can get it running and have a go of it while I've got it. When I sell it, it will go with the original Mac 28 carb on it, either, as I just said, that one or a new one with a, doesn't matter, but that's what happens anyway. So it's pretty much perfect now. I just need to take it out and give it another run to make sure that it's actually running properly, coming back to a tick over and staying ticking over, and it's good at the high end revs and all that kind of stuff. But I'm over the moon with how that's running. That's a brilliant little buggy. Everything on it is more or less perfect, so proper happy with that. Thanks for watching, you lot. Stick around, treat people nice, look after yourselves, and just love life, man, because that's what it's all about. And just stay away from all the idiots. You know, what can I say? Not what else you can do. See you later on, you lot. All the best. Cheerio.